This appears to be, a very simple question, but I have seen many people, having this conflict. I would like to know from the learned people and students who are here, what do you think? Should we use, pest control and kill cockroaches when they grow in our houses or not? Let me start with my students first. Please unmute and one by one share your views. Yes.
Okay, sir. Good morning, sir.
Now, Saurindra, yeah.
Sir, this thing, Ahimsa, this conflict best can be solved through Jain philosophy. There, they follow Ahimsa in very deeper level also. So we can see that most of their monks, they keep cloth on their face so that any kind of living creature doesn't get harmed because of that. So if we are telling Ahimsa about that level, then killing a cockroach is a very, very bad thing and very effectively bad. But if we are telling it at a grosser level, most of the things we see that Ahimsa we are telling or advocating, it is only on human being level or in society level. But for other creature, most of the times we don't observe or try to follow these things. So it is actually contradictory, and we shouldn't give this kind of advice for me.
Okay, so Saurindra, says that according to Jain philosophy, it is not there, but practically, it is challenging. But he says that one should not kill cockroaches. Then what do you do? Like cockroaches grow in house, no? They enter food, they enter things.
So just I try to push it out of my house, going behind it.
Okay. Let us hear from other students.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone.
Yes.
Sir, this cockroach has troubled me since childhood. I'm
Okay.
very much scared of it. That is the only thing I'm scared of. From the time I've grown, I've never killed any. I've tried to prevent it. Even in our room now, we are trying to prevent it from coming. There are cockroaches. Whenever I've seen it, I've just pushed it away. Killing is wrong, sir, according to yoga philosophy. I go with this.
Killing is wrong.
Yes. No matter how minuscule of a being it is, it shouldn't be harmed.
Knowingly.
Knowingly or unknowingly, yeah.
Okay, let us hear from Tarana and then Vibha. Yeah.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, everybody. So, for me, until and unless they harm us, like we shouldn't kill them for sure. पर वही सबने जैसे बोला हम like हमें उसको दूर रखना ही चाहिए डिस्टर्ब अगर हम ज्यादा डिस्टर्ब हो जाएंगे तो फिर हम उनको मार ही देंगे तो इट्स बेटर कि वो वहां तक ना जाए that's
Okay, so Tarana feels that we should prevent them from coming, but if they increase, then you have to kill them.
no, nothing like that, sir. But like they shouldn't.
Don't talk about philosophy. You tell me in your house you kill or not.
No.
Pest control use नहीं करते आप अपने house में. You don't.
मैं खुद ही डरती हूँ तो फिर मैं तो जाती ही नहीं हूँ.
Okay, let us hear from Vibha. Yeah.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, everybody.
Yeah.
I think pests should be kept under control, sir. We, as like Saurendra said, only Jain people who don't even eat roots and tubers because they kill plants. It would be like they are killing plant. They don't eat. We don't follow such things. We eat carrots. We eat ginger. So it is fine that some things should be kept under control for a better cause or a greater well-being. Cockroaches and these are vectors for many microbes, so that other pets and human beings should not be affected by cockroaches. They should be kept under control.
Hmm. So under control means what?
Prevented.
Under control is like until till a level we can push them out. When it is crossing, we have to kill them. So no other option, I feel.
Very good, very good. I like it, Vibha. You are more practical and you are putting the things not in an idealistic perspective. Very good. Okay, let us hear from Dr. Avinash. Dr. Avinash is a psychiatrist, and he also knows a lot about yoga philosophy. Let us hear from him.
Supravatam Sarvesham. So I know very little of it, so I don't. So these are my thoughts, simple thoughts. Again, as my colleagues has already told, they have covered different aspects of it. It all starts from which level of philosophy that you are following right now, and which ashrama that you are following. So based on that is what we need to take a call. Especially for a greater dharma, to have to maintain cleanliness, that what we commonly tell as cleanliness is next to godliness. So to keep that, one is, as we have already discussed, the prevention is the first thing. That is why if we keep clean, first of all, the probability of those coming itself will reduce. And following specific rituals that we in Indian philosophy we generally use, like dhupa and all other measures that we take, keeping turmeric, washing the front of house with turmeric, cow dung. So these are the already some of the preventive aspects that we do. But once they become a menace, we need to terminate them in terms of maintaining cleanliness for a greater perspective. And also in Ayurveda also they have, I am not completely aware of it, but when it is being told that even if you pluck a flower, pluck a leaf, you bow down to the leaf or the tree before telling that for my life to be sustaining, I am taking a part of you, kindly excuse me. So this is the philosophy that we as Indians have, sir. We respect all living beings. At the same time, we also consider that in order to, Krishna tells that in order to maintain dharma, you might have to do some things, you might have to kill or terminate some people or other living beings. So in order to maintain some dharmas, I think it is okay to do this. But at the same time, respect those living beings, creatures, and go ahead with that is what I would think, sir. But definitely once we reach a greater level, then it doesn't matter, like uh, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa and even Ramana Maharshi is embodiment for this. In his ashrama he used to have all kind of creatures, used to talk to them. So when we go to that level, that is a different aspect. So till then I don't know, we are being still in this samsara. I think these are all small things we need to do as part of our dharma, sir. That's all I think.
Thank you, Dr. Avinash. Very beautiful insights. He is able to bring in the perspective from both the aspects, and such the thought from Ayurveda that you put, that they pray and pluck the plant. So beautiful, so beautiful. So we got some insight, Dr. Avinash. In conclusion, we can say that he says that you should try to prevent it, then you should, with respect, you should try to dispel it. But then when it crosses a certain level, then probably you have to take an action. But at that time also you maintain the respect for the creature. That is what he says. Let us hear from Dr. Gandhi.
Sir, good morning, sir. As this question is posed,
Yes.
so I referred many philosophical books also. There are two aspects are there. One thing is they are known as the unwelcome visitors to our house, which come to eat the leftover food and they destroy the food also. And so there are, even if you consider as migrants like mouse, rodents, millions of grains are eaten by those rodents, which are kept for the poor people to distribute. They are the sneakers. They even eat the wires and give a wires in the cars and destroy the cars also.
Yes.
And not only those cockroaches only consider, even the mosquitoes, they cause the chikungunya and dengue. And they will be so many people are killed. And so they destroy millions of. And when coming to the wild boars, we see their crops are acres of crops are destroyed, which are grown in the agriculture field, and that is also, so we have to use the pesticide or destroy or kill those animals, and that to prevent is unwanted migrants. So if you see, even in the immemorial time also, the humans also, they are known as the unwanted intruders. They enter like a terrorist and destroy and kill and cause human loss also. Those people also has to be dealt with. And in killing those people, it is not a sin, or it is doesn't affect our
Talking like
philosophy.
killing terrorists and other people like that.
Yes, yes. And that is one side. And we cannot completely become without killing or without destroying or without using the pesticide. And even so, if you see the vegans, they should not even eat milk also. That cannot also be prevented. And coming to another, see, we use quite often as a doctors antibiotics that we kill the bacteria and viruses. So we have to do that. Without that killing the bacteria, virus, we cannot also survive. That is one side of the aspects of that I say the unwanted things which enter our house or in our body definitely has to be killed and dealt one side. And another side, we have to look for the environment also. So if you see this, by using the pesticide, so many small insects and birds are has been by eating the pesticide which used for destroy the pest on the agriculture land. There also extinction has been taken place also, and we lose the fertile land also. And by using the pesticide to kill the pest, so the vegetables and fruits which are we use that sometimes they can cause even cancer also, neurological problems also. And so that is the reason we encourage the organic farm. So nowadays, and as so already the people told about religion, the Hinduism and Buddhism, Jainism, there is a concept of Ahimsa is there. Of course, that is the concept is there to some extent only. So, for example, Jain monks they see that when they monk, they should not a small ant should be not killed. So, without their knowing, also sometimes it is killed. So, it that we cannot completely ahimsa also. And by drinking milk, or we cannot only produce soya milk to meet the demand of the milk also. That is also not possible. These are the day-to-day.
Yes, yes, Gandhi sir. Thank you. You have brought in different perspectives, and probably, ultimately you want to say that it is impossible that you don't kill them. And there are other side that they can cause infection, but overuse of pesticide also should not be there. So like that. Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else would like to share their views? Yes, Radha ji, please unmute and share.
Sir, good morning, sir. Actually, when if you are looking into yoga philosophy, we have yama and niyama. So we have 5 aspects in yama and 5 aspects in niyama also. So sucha means we are not only body or mind. If you are doing any yoga, any performing any puja, anything. So we have to keep our surroundings clean and green. So if you are maintaining, so need not to erase the kill all those things. We can't say very minute bacteria that we cannot do, we cannot help it. But otherwise, if you keep the surroundings, you as already sir told, using the turmeric and all the neem. So in Ayurveda also they use to clean they use the neem leaves. So that to mosquitoes or for any cockroaches. So if we keep small and larger area, we cannot say maybe it is a inevitable. But in a small area, if you remove all unnecessary stuff. If you declutter your house, so if you keep very simple and need whatever need, if you keep a very simple and very less items or anything, so then this using the pesticides and all, the question may not arise, sir. What I am doing at home, because even I don't use all this all out and all this. We use this uh, karpuram and turmeric and neem. We can light the neem oil also, so that it will remove the mosquitoes. What I'm practicing, I'm telling.
Yes.
And samrani also we put. So with this surroundings, so I mean, if you keep the clean at the plants also, there also we can spray the neem boiled water. So the smaller area, even in bigger area, only the maintaining. If you do the regular maintenance, those things will not come, sir. This is my idea of what I'm practicing. I express it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Very beautiful. Radhaji told us very beautiful organic ways, and she completely focuses on prevention and she doesn't advocate killing. Anybody else? Anybody else sharing their experience with this? Kambam Raghunathji, what do you do?
Sir, Raghunath here.
Yes, yes. Yes, sir. Raghunathji.
Sir, so far as this is concerned, it is how it affects our health. Now, if there could be some insects, I will be able to avoid it by virtue of putting some fumes and all that, or catching these cockroaches and putting in the lawn, so that I allow it to live in its own. As long as it is with us, we find it effective. But we can always avoid that in our place by either having the fumes around us or catching these cockroaches. That's what we normally do in our place.
Thank you, Raghunathji. Raghunathji says that it is a vast universe. Cockroach you can put the cockroach outside, it will survive somewhere, it has to go. So he believes in putting it out into then the cockroach will survive, and just keeping the home area clean, not killing the cockroach. Okay. Let us
Morning,
hear
Swami.
from Bhaskar ji.
गुड मॉर्निंग स्वामी.
हाँ, आप क्या करते हैं भास्कर जी? कॉकरोच का क्या करते हैं?
कॉकरोच को भगाने के देखते स्वामी.
पहले भगाने के लिए
घर से
देखते। हाँ
भगाने के देखते. समटाइम्स नहीं हो सके तो किल भी करते.
हाँ हाँ।
तो मेरा क्या है बोले तो अपने को जो हार्म कर रहे वो नहीं देख सकते अपन. इन अकॉर्डिंग टू भगवद गीता आल्सो अपन सेफ रहो, जियो और जीने दो.
जियो और जीने दो. But if it becomes life threatening, you have to kill. But if it is not, then you have to avoid.
हाँ, प्रिवेंट तो करता हूँ स्वामी. ऐसा धूपम का वो है ना, मैं कार में भी नाप्तालिन बाल्स रखता हूँ.
अच्छा
इंजन
अच्छा।
कने बैग डिक्की में नाप्तालिन बाल्स है ना, वो
हाँ
रखे तो कॉकरोचेस ये माउस नहीं आते.
नहीं। हाँ
नहीं आते. और वो पच्चा कर्पूरम बोलते हैं,
हाँ
कर्पूर बोल के रहते हैं वो. मैं मिरर करने रख देता हूँ. वो स्मेल अपने को भी अच्छा है. ये मैं स्प्रेस यूज नहीं करता हूँ, वो नहीं जमता मेरे को. स्प्रेस का स्मेल 1 किलोमीटर से मेरे को इरिटेशन आता पूरा. कहीं फंक्शन में गए तो भी.
थैंक यू।
प्रिवेंट तो करता हूँ. प्रिवेंट करने के बाद उसमें एंड स्मॉल रिक्वेस्ट स्वामी, माय सिल्वर जुबली इज पूजा इज देयर 29th December. मैं ग्रुप में कुछ ड्रॉप कर सकता हूँ ऐसा आपके परमिशन से.
डालिए भास्कर
इन
जी,
हैदराबाद
डाल दीजिए, मैसेज डाल दीजिए. हाँ ठीक है. एनीबडी
Thank
एल्स?
you, sir.
एनीबडी एल्स? शोभना जी, यू वांटेड टू से समथिंग?
Good morning, sir. Actually, you mentioned it. I also do the same thing, like prevention, putting camphor in a cloth and keep it in all the cupboards and everything, so it keeps away the cockroaches. So mainly prevention. Beyond that, if it is life-threatening, then we have to, according to our like karma. If something is happening to our child, if mosquitoes are biting, dengue is coming, we cannot think that, oh, mosquito we cannot kill. So if it is life-threatening, then we do kind of fight. And I also wanted to add, Ahimsa, I heard that it's not only physical harm, it also can be thoughts, actions. So even harming somebody through your thoughts, actions, or doing something harm against them, that also can be non-violence. So we have to minimum do, but for self-sustenance, we can do something is what I think.
So
Thank you, sir.
Shobhanaji also, brings in a very beautiful point of your intention, inside you feel that dvesha, that kind of aversion, and then mentally you are already doing himsa, whether outside you kill or not. Okay.
सर अभय बोलतो सर अभय
अभयजी बोला, तुम्ही
तर
काय
सर
करताय? कॉक्रोचचं काय करता तुम्ही?
हा सर कॉक्रोचला ठीक आहे थोडे कमी असतील तर त्यांना बाहेर घालवायचा प्रयत्न करतो पण
बरोबर.
काय काय कॉक्रोच असे आहेत की ते आपल्याला सापडत पण नाहीत मग त्यांना मारल्याशिवाय पर्याय नाही आणि तो मारायचं म्हणजे ते आपल्या हेल्थला म्हणजे आपला जर जीव जात असेल तर त्यांना का सोडायचं मग ते आपल्या जीवाला त्रास देत असतील तर म्हणजे आपला जीव आपल्याला घरात लहान लहान मुलं असतात ते काही खातात मग कॉक्रोचने त्याला आधी खाल्लेलं असतं मग हेच मुलं कधी कधी खातात ते तर मग त्यांच्या जीवाला बाधा होऊ नये म्हणून मग ह्यांना मारलेलं योग्य तिथं म्हणजे कुठली वस्तू प्राणी असू द्यात ते जर आपल्याला त्रास देत असेल किंवा आपली हिंसा करत असेल तर मग त्याला मारलेलं योग्य पण आपल्याला काही ना त्रास देता तो जात असेल तर लेट हिम गो म्हणजे त्याची त्याला जाऊ द्यायचं ठीक आहे फक्त आपल्याला त्रास होऊ नये म्हणून मग त्याला घालवलेलं बरं पण नाहीच घातलं तर एक झाला तर ते हजारो कॉक्रोच तयार होतात घरात तिथं आणि ते होऊ नये म्हणून स्वच्छता ठेवावं लागते ते स्वच्छता ठेवली तर होत नाहीत मग
Abhay Palwankarji says, that initially you should try to drive them away, but they are at places where you cannot reach or cannot kill them. Then you have to plan because there are small children at house, and if they become ill, so you have to worry about that. And so therefore, to protect oneself, if one is killing, it is okay. Now here one point that I want to bring forth, I have seen people killing snakes, as soon as they see. So generally, we how do we know, that the creature is there to harm us or it is itself trying to survive? Sometimes this paranoia, of really, trying to keep oneself safe becomes too much. कधी कधी काय होतंय पलवणकरजी, आपलं जे भय असतो ना ते खूप जास्त होऊन जाते आणि त्याच्यामध्ये काय करतो माणूस, सेफ्टी, पुटिंग सेफ्टी इन फ्रंट, इट even if the creature is not harming, the person tries to kill him because he thinks that the creature may come back or it may, harm. So that kind of paranoia also should be avoided, but yeah, definitely one has to protect oneself. Let us hear from Pavarsu madam. Yeah.
Sir, it's me. Good morning, sir. So, sir, when you talked about this paranoia about killing, so, sir, once in our compound, one long green snake had entered. Now, we never killed it. We called those, there's those helpline numbers, those animal rescue or some fire brigade, they come. But then, sir, what happened that snake was crossing from it was like that, it was a fence, like the chicken hole fence. So the snake only got stuck in one of those holes. Means no one did. So by then, somebody from a neighboring office came. He took a rod and he started beating, and we are telling him, "Don't kill it. We've called the right people. They have that technique to catch, And but he already killed the snake, and we couldn't do anything because so, like you said, fear. Now we don't know whether it was poisonous or non-poisonous. If that snake hadn't got stuck in that fence, I mean, maybe it would have escaped and gone to its natural habitat. And then once I was coming back home late, there was a snake, a black snake. I still remember it so vividly with yellow lines. It was on the welcome mat outside our house. It was coiled. And I went to ring the doorbell, and so I stepped on the rubber mat. I didn't know the snake is there. And suddenly something came up. So I shouted and I waited outside. That time also my father called the fire brigade. We don't know where the snake went. They searched lots downstairs, under the landing, staircase. We couldn't find it. And so this was one aspect. When you need the rest, if it's fear, you call the right people. But sir, sometimes in the house, I agree with what others said. You keep your house clean, but sometimes these insects, rats, rodents, they come from the drainage pipe outside into your home. So that time we used those rat balls, you put it in a atta goli and you keep it where you think the sauce, the rat will come. Next day we found out the rat ate that atta goli and it died, and then we called the help, the proper people, and they had the hygienic way to remove it. That time we used the pesticide. Now, sir, these things we have to do, like we said, for the prevention, but I believe we shouldn't unnecessarily kill. Like if the mosquito is sitting on your hand and you know it, you'll slap it, so it will get killed. Now, I didn't do it with the intention I have to kill that the insect, but because it's sucking my blood and I want to prevent dengue. So yes, so even till date today, if these little insects come, I kill it. But I don't think I'm doing it out of a thing to harm. I'm doing it more out of a protection, prevention for my health and well-being. This is what I feel. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Surya ji, sharing your very clear perspective. Let us hear from Anju ji also.
So the thing is, our scriptures and our practices very emphatically emphasize that we should not kill snakes and worship them. There are a lot of snake murtis and everywhere, pretty much across the country. And I suspect it is because we have an instinctive fear of creatures like that. And we have to be told that if we kill them, we will destroy ourselves because they cannot be destroyed without our own ecosystem being destroyed. If we kill a lot of snakes, the rats and other rodents multiply. So the system, the philosophy already encapsulates the importance of not killing needlessly and of killing only if you can actively see the harm, not not anticipate harm.
Yes.
So by making it a religious tilt and instilling a fear of say the supernatural or God or nature or whatever, I think it's important that we already try to emphasize the non-violent part of avoiding unnecessary killing. Thank you.
Very beautifully put across, Anju ji. The ecosystem aspect of it, to bring it, to bring the balance. And the second aspect of it, that whatever, the creature that is there, that creature, you have to not anticipate the harm. You have to see whether it is actually really life-threatening for you and then take a call. Okay, so let us see, what can we learn from Bhagavad Gita, Mahabharata and other yogic texts. So as everybody said, Patanjali, when he describes yoga, chitta vritti nirodha, and he starts describing yoga, the first word that he utters on the path of yoga is ahimsa. So ahimsa is, yama is the first step of 8 limbs of yoga, and among the yamas, ahimsa is the first and foremost principle. So this understanding ahimsa is very, very important. Definitely, ahimsa is manasa, vacha, karmana, and as far as possible, it advocates that the person should not harm another creature if that creature is not life-threatening for you. This is a vast universe, and the whole universe has been created for all the creatures. These creatures also belong to the same earth. The creator created them, and it is their home also. If we created our apartments, they don't have any other place to go. Where will they go? So there are no jungles, there are no things. So we have to understand that as a human being, we are also one of the creature on this planet, and it is not our monopoly that we will survive and only our protection is important. Everybody has a right to live, and we have to respect that. Everybody needs space to live. Everybody needs space to survive. And as far as possible, this is a vast universe. Such creatures, if they are there, please try to push them away and let them go into the universe wherever they can, and use organic ways of preventing them from coming. That is what the Ahimsa principle says. If you look at, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that on one side, he says that looking at your dharma as a warrior, you should not be confused. You should engage in fighting the righteous war. So that understanding dharma becomes very, very important. A doctor tries to save a patient because he is dying of sepsis, and he gives him higher antibiotics to kill the bacteria, viruses. Yes, so here the dharma has to be understood. Dharma was, if the antibiotic was not given, a human being was going to die. Now, generally, when there is a choice of saving a more evolved creature than a less evolved creature, we save more evolved creature, because the more evolved the creature is, the more divinity it manifests and the more it contributes to the ecosystem simply because it has better hardware to manifest. So the more evolved a creature is, for example, snake is a very, very sensitive creature. It can sense, through its skin, the earthquakes and other thing happening anywhere else. And also they say that snakes have memory and those emotions are also very strong in them. So when there is actually a life-threatening situation where you have to save a more evolved creature and then a less evolved creature has to sacrifice, that is according to the dharma. That is why plants are allowed. We can eat plants. They have less of those. They also have emotion, but they have less of it. So this is the way that we go. So every creature loves its body like we love our body. If just try to catch a cockroach, put a shawl or towel over it, you will see how intensely it runs and tries to save its body. So in that way, you have to understand that for the cockroach, its body is exactly same as your body is for you. Same is for rat, for frog, for everybody, for chicken. If you just touch the chicken with finger, it is so sensitive, it runs. So we have to decide, to in order to survive, in order to sustain ourselves on this planet and live, are we really in a life-threatening situation, or more of it is just our dvesha, our hatred, our aversion that is there, our fear that is there in our chitta, which is making us do such actions? So I'm really for it that if it is really a life-threatening situation, definitely take a call and save yourself. But please become aware of your anticipated fear and dvesha within you. Many people I have seen, they kill cockroaches or lizards only because they just have an inner hatred towards them. They are not harming them in any way. So we have to really become aware of that. That is what Krishna says, that Sarva Bhutastam Atmanam Sarva Bhutani Cha Atmani Ikshate Yoga Yuktatma Sarvatra Samadarshinaha. This, that all the creatures in this universe are important. Even Swami Vivekananda, says that if there is an ant and I can prevent putting my foot there, I will put my foot somewhere else, or I will not break the chain of ant which is going and doing their business. No, it is not. I can, if possible, undergo some kind of a discomfort and penance, but and decide, so probably, we can and we should little bit stretch our limits. We should not try to be so comfortable, costing the lives of other creatures, because God says that divinity is there in each of the creature. And if you want to go on the path of yoga, your kalmasha has to become kshina. Kalmasha is these when you harm others, you accumulate this kalmasha, which is called as sin in yogic language. As you have to grow on the path of yoga and reach its ascendental levels, all these sins need to be cleansed. Otherwise, there is no entry. So therefore, those holy person whose sins have been purged, whose doubts are annihilated, whose minds are disciplined, such are the people who, toward the welfare of all the creatures in this universe, such people function, and they are the people fit to attain God. So we see Sarva Bhuta Hite Rataha. This comes again and again in Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna says that you have to think of welfare of all the beings on this planet. And not only think about it, you have to do some penance for it. You have to really think about it. And it is not a very trivial issue. It is a very serious issue. So probably if you can put more effort, if you can prevent it more strongly, if you can use more organic ways, but simply because of laziness, you are just spraying it, please, become more careful and be very serious about it. ईश्वरः सर्वभूतानां हृद्देशे अर्जुन तिष्ठति भ्रामयन् सर्वभूतानि यंत्ररूढ़ानि मायया. As a supreme lord, I dwell in the heart of all the creatures that are there, and therefore one must be able to see the creator in the creation. And if you really want to grow on the path of bhakti, Brahma Bhutaha, one who is able to see Brahma in all the bhutas, Prasannatma, always pleasant, na shochati, na kankshati, samaha sarveshu bhuteshu. Equanimity of the mind, care for everybody is very important. Otherwise, that bhakti will never come in you. So, if you look at Mahabharata, two stories I want to share here. One is the story of Mandavya Rishi that comes in Mahabharata 1.107. Here, what happens is that this Rishi is a Siddha Rishi, and he is in deep state of trance and meditation. During that, what happens is in his kutir where he is meditating, some thieves come and hide things what they have stolen, and they also hide there. At the same time, these soldiers of the king come there and they catch everybody, and they catch this sage also, and they take them to the king there. And in those days, punishments were quite severe for such thing because they had stolen something from the king's place. Now the king, this person is like mute. He is just standing there. He is in his deep trance and meditation, looking down. So he gives punishment to all of them. Now, what is the punishment they give? No, it is actual story mentioned in Mahabharata. The punishment was that the person, was made to fall on a rod, where the rod would enter through the, anal region of the person, and he would go through that kind of a, pain and die. Now, all the thieves are punished like that, and because the sage doesn't say anything and he is into trance, they also make him also go into that kind of a punishment, go through that. And they observe that the other thieves, they die instantly of bleeding and all, but this sage suddenly, because of the intense pain, he becomes aware, gets body consciousness, and he puts his padmasana on the rod itself and sits there. And the soldiers become really afraid, and they run to the king and they say that I think we have done some mistake. There is a Siddha Rishi who is sitting on that rod where we made him fall on that rod. And he becomes very angry. So then when the king comes, king really pleads him and prays that it was done by mistake. The sage instantly realizes that it is some prarabdha only that has come up. And he becomes really angry, and he straight away from there, they try to remove the rod doesn't remove, so they cut it. With that rod, the sage goes to Yamaraja. Yamaraja is the person in in the scriptures who is keeping an account of all the actions of a person, what he is doing. So when he goes to Yamaraja, he becomes very angry on Yamaraja and tells him that, why did you punish me? Because I have gone some janmas back and seen myself. I have not done anything like that for which I should get a punishment like this. Then Yamaraja, opens his log and says that it is even beyond that, some 12 lives before, that there was a butterfly, you picked the butterfly and you took a thorn and you put that thorn on the back of that butterfly and left it. And it kept on, withering in pain. And then it died. It is because of that you have gone through this punishment now in this life. And the sage says that, what was my age at that time? They say, you were 10-year-old. Said, at that age, how can a child understand, what is to be done, what is not to be done? So this is wrong on your part. I did not have the cognition to understand things at that time. And I want you to make a change in your law that before 12, if anybody does any such kind of thing, he should not be punished. And this is a mistake that you have done, and for which I curse you. So the Rishi Mandavya curses Yamaraja and asks him to take birth in Mrityu Loka. For 100 years he comes, and that is the birth of Dharmaraja that happens in the form of Vidur. That is how Vidur is born in Mahabharata. What I mean to say is that even a Siddha Rishi who had done a lot of tapas in his life couldn't escape from his karma, which was done long time back. So that is the seriousness that the laws in the nature puts to the life of other creatures. Similarly, we see similar kind of story that happens with Bhishma also. Bhishma, the kind of death that he had also is attributed to him piercing a bird, with thorns many life ago. And that is what Krishna tells him why this happened to him. So what I mean to, tell here is that if you go by yogic scriptures, every creature has a life on this planet, has a right to survive, and it is behaving as per its nature, how nature has given it. It is not doing things deliberately. It is doing as per its nature. And we should have that compassion in our heart. And with that compassion, killing should be the last possible option. It should not be your convenience. It should not be your anticipation of fear. Please take this matter, my dear friends, very, very seriously and try to become Kshina Kalmasha in this life, become Nishpapa. Nature, you will always see that whatever you try to completely root out, you will see that it will not happen. Nature will always bring that aspect back. And I have seen many people, who are struggling with cockroaches. They are trying to remove them. They are trying to use more and more higher kind of pesticides. With that, probably they are even harming their own health, their own family. But the cockroaches are not dying. They are again coming back and they are developing resistance. With mosquitoes also, we see that with DDT and all, there has been resistance over a period of time. And the nature is overpowering that and winning over it. Why is that happening? Because fundamentally there is some error in our thinking. Nature, in nature, everything has a role to play. That is why the creator has created it. And therefore it is not possible that something is completely useless and has to be completely removed. It needs a better thinking from our side, and more respect we have to offer to the nature, and try to move towards balance and mutual survival, rather than completely unilateral decision making. Please think over it. Thank you. Namaste.